All right, welcome back, and this is still STV News Hub. And on to our next discussion. President Muhammad Buhari and his Nigerian counterpart, Mahamudu Issoufou, on Tuesday in Abuja signed a memorandum of understanding for the establishment of a new refinery in Katsina State. The proposed facility, which the president said will be private sector driven, is to come on stream in the next 2 years and would produce 150,000 barrels per day in a deal President Buhari described as a win-win for both nations. But a lot of questions have been raised concerning the project, its economic cost and location, bearing in mind that Katsina State isn't an oil exploration state. Well, joining us to discuss this issue is Martin Onovo. Martin Onovo is a registered engineer. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
One of the questions, like I said earlier, is that Katsina isn't an oil exploratory state. With this move by the Nigerian president and our Nigerian president, do you think it's a win-win situation really, or do you think there is something underneath this MOU signed on Tuesday?
There are comments that you cannot make without an appropriate professional study. So we'll just talk generally around it. The right way to do this in engineering is you have a problem, you do what we call concept engineering. What is concept engineering? Concept engineering is you identify all the concepts you can use to solve that problem. That's concept engineering. After you have done that, you now do a cost-benefit analysis on each concept. That is how you choose which concept you are going to apply. But what are they trying to do? There is a crude oil field called Agbadem oil field in Niger Republic. Niger Republic are our neighbors on the north of Nigeria. They want to get crude from Agbadem oil field to Katsina and put a refinery in Katsina. The good news, true or false, I don't know, but the good news is that it's supposed to be private sector driven. We hope it is private sector driven. Because it will be a different ball game if it is a public sector project. Because that means it is my money and your money that is at stake. So I don't think we should be too worried if actually it's a private sector project.
But sorry, yes. before you come, please, Kaide, if it's a private sector driven project, then why was the president involved in the signing of this MOU?
Well,
why not the private sector?
What the government communications said is that they want to encourage and assist the private sector to deliver because of the benefits to both countries. And that's what I'm saying. I am not a government spokesperson. I cannot stand for that. I'm saying what they said. And I do not believe this government. Maybe that's why I should say that. I do not believe them. So that's why I say whether it's true, whether it's false, I do not know. Now, this is what the government has said, that they want to encourage this and support it to succeed. But like you said, there are many issues. Nigeria, an oil exporting country, wants to start importing crude from Niger. Fundamental contradiction. Fundamental. The crude for that refinery is supposed to come from the Agbadem oil field in Niger Republic. Now, interestingly, there's a pipeline aspect of the contract because you have to bring the crude all the way from Agbadem to Katsina. Okay. You're talking about 900 kilometers of pipeline. So, if this is properly engineered, we are going to ask ourselves, why should the refinery be in Katsina? Now, the president is from Katsina. And if you remember the debate in the National Assembly over the 2018 budget, you would have seen that location of projects was a big issue. And that is why the budget had to be increased by 500 billion to balance out with disadvantaged areas. Under this government, the president is from Katsina. There has been a water project in Katsina. There has been an irrigation project in Katsina. There has been a power project in Katsina. We're having a refinery project in Katsina. This is a president that has been widely accused of nepotism.
Okay, before we go into that, because I was going to patronize you to say that I was happy with your opening statement that you stayed on the issue of this refinery, but I never knew you were still going to get into that. But before we get into that,
the refinery is a project.
Yes, well, let's still stay on the project.
You can't analyze the location of a project without putting it in the context.
With you. Still on the project, as it were, trying to remind you that what led to this was an attempt, when the Nigerian Republic wanted these pipelines to run from their country to Katsina, and the Minister of State for Petroleum said, no, this will not work. That let's think of refinery in Nigeria, as it were. So people were like, what exactly is our problem, where we continue to export and these things will get imported? That this looks like a solution, because if we now have the right refinery with Dangote finishing his own.
Please, Kayo, they don't trivialize the discussion. In this country, there are 4 refineries. Kaduna.
But they are not working at the optimal level.
Yes, they are not. Worry, that doesn't mean you can't get them to work. This same government promised you they were going to work.
No, we're looking at private refinery now, because you just mentioned it that if it is private owned, it's going to work.
You can't appropriate and reprobate.
Okay.
You can't appropriate and reprobate. If it is private, why are the 2 countries involved at the highest level? They say it's going to be private and they want to encourage. Have they encouraged your private business or your junior brother's private business? Let us assume you don't have a private business. Has General Buhari and the Nigerian president come to encourage your junior brother's private business? Excuse me, sir. Don't reduce the discussion, please. Let me tell you this. You have 445,000 barrels installed capacity, refining capacity. Are you saying that we cannot revamp and upgrade? If you are saying that, I will find it very difficult to agree with you. That's number 1. Number 2, you produce crude. In fact, you're a principal exporter of crude. You are now going to import crude. You see no contradiction. We cannot be doing the wrong things as a country, defending them, justifying them, and expecting to get developed. This is why the country is going backwards. Everybody must, professionally and ethically, push for the interest of the country. Is this the best option for Nigeria to import crude from 900 kilometers away? Must the refine? Okay, look at the map. Look at the Agbadem oil field. Look at Katsina. If you want to get to Nigeria from Agbadem oil field, you will get to Boronu before you get to Katsina. Because Agbadem is on the east. So why did you choose Katsina? And that's why I introduced some suspicion, knowing that the president is from Katsina. And I gave a background to it, but you didn't like it. But these are the facts.
It has nothing to do with me. I'm looking at
but these are the
what
facts.
you said. You said, at the beginning, you said that if it is private owned, that let's hope, let's believe them.
Oh, yes.
And she asked you,
yes,
you remember that she asked you that if it is a private owned thing, why do we involve government? And you still explained.
What level of encouragement is government willing to give?
That's why we brought you here. That's why we brought you here, to throw more light on, is the private owned refinery is the way to go, putting in perspective even the Dangote refinery.
Let me tell you, when the government wants to support a project, it is going to support it in clear and beneficial ways, even if it's tax exemption.
Okay.
Even if, I don't know what they plan to do, but even if it's tax exemption, is it not revenue to the country that is deprived? So excuse me, I know what I'm saying. And if you will allow me, I will clarify the matter.
I will allow you.
These are very simple things. Nigeria is a major oil exporting country. And in this so-called project, we are going to be importing crude. That seems to me to be a contradiction. Seems. I do not know the justification yet. I just told you that location-wise, if you look at Niger Republic, The Agbadem oil field in Niger is on the east.
Okay.
And you're pulling it all the way to the northwest. Is it not a shorter distance to go to the northeast, assuming it makes sense to import crude? Assuming. Let me tell you, in project management, you must identify your issues, evaluate them, and mitigate them. You can't just have a silly idea and just think it will fly. Because at the end of the day, that project will fail. That's why you have failed projects.
Let me just take you back a bit, please. You said it's easier for them to have, planted a refinery in the northeast. I recall that the government tried at some point in Maiduguri, to find oil in Maiduguri. But we saw the security challenges they faced in Maiduguri. Hence, it stopped. The project stopped. Couldn't that be the reason why it's
well,
now?
Well, the first thing is that the project has not stopped. The second thing is that
at that time it stopped because of the kidnapping of the workers.
And I'm saying it has not stopped. Because
It's
if you
still
stop
ongoing.
temporarily, yes, it doesn't mean you have stopped. And I'm telling you that I've practiced for nearly 30 years. That activity was going on while I was still in UI. So that activity has gone on for about 40 years, if not more. Probably 50 years. So if you are making decisions based on strictly political considerations, you will not expect to have the best professional results. Why do we think like this, educated people? Why do we think we can, as a country, move forward like this? If you want decisions that will give you the best professional results, you must make those decisions based on professional considerations, not based on political considerations. I'm giving you hard facts that anybody can verify. From Agbadem to Katsina, it's over 900 kilometers. That is capital cost. And that's why I said, if it is private, it is the business of the private investor. At least I will be less concerned. And that's why I said, let it be truly private. Because if it is truly private, then all the private company will need would be licenses and permits.
Okay, please, can you
But this idea of government encouraging, and it is in the president's state, it is suspicious, my friend. That's the word.
Okay,
So,
okay, go ahead.
Please explain, since you're the engineer.
yes.
Is this, when the refinery is now located in Katsina, is there any need for us to still be importing if it is the final crude? The final product will happen in Nigeria?
Oh, sure. Sure. Products will get in Nigeria, but the crude, which you are exporting, you are importing. That seems to be some contradiction. How do they say it in English? They say something like carrying gold to Newcastle, something like that. You are taking water to the source of the water. That's what you're doing now. You want to import crude from Niger Republic. That's the Niger connection. And this was the same president that proposed a rail project to Maradi in Niger. This Niger connection is also suspicious.
Is it not because of the market here? Or are we not going to get the import right here at the Katsina Refinery?
Sir, it is your duty for defending that project to give me the justification. What I am telling you are hard facts that suggests that this project may not be justifiable, may not be. And I'm saying, show otherwise. I'm giving you the hard facts. Now, in simple secondary school economics, because all of us claim we are educated, we have masters from America, but we think like people who didn't go to school. Secondary school economics, you are taught that you site your industry close to the source of your raw materials, my friend. That's secondary school level. But you will see a professor saying a different thing. And at the end of the day, projects are failing. Because we are dishonest, not because we are not intelligent. We are only very intelligent. Even to be corrupt, you need to be very intelligent to be corrupt.
That's true.
But we are dishonest. That is the fundamental. And that is why we're in this mess. How many projects have succeeded? How many times have you done turnaround on those refineries? Because we keep being dishonest and the media keeps pushing the wrong information and misleading the people.
No, that's why you're here, to correct some of the wrong impressions.
I'm trying
that
to correct
people
it if
might
you will
have.
let me.
Now, I want you to explain this. Now, if this takes up in the next 2 years, it's expected that it's going to produce about 150,000 barrels per day.
Brilliant.
Now, currently, Niger Republic records only 20,000 barrels per day at its peak.
Very brilliant.
Can you explain
Brilliant.
the magic that will happen in 2 years by the time...
Very brilliant. Very brilliant. According to the government, I do not believe the government, because the government has misled me 200,000 times. I will not believe this government. According to the government, They will succeed with the exploration in the northeast, which you say was stopped. I told you has not been stopped. They will succeed, and then they can get more crude from there. That's number one answer. Government answer to your question, not my answer. Number two answer is that production increase on the Nigerian side is planned to go up to 90,000 barrels per day, which I do not believe because I'm a professional. And I've been in this industry for 30 years, my friend, almost 30 years. And I've worked in Europe, I've worked in America, I've worked here. And it is only here that people think like this. And it is very infuriating. People see what is clearly wrong because they have an agenda, either political or economic. They will be pushing the wrong agenda to the detriment of every Nigerian. And everybody wants to get ahead selfishly. How can you get ahead selfishly in a collapsed country? The common good is in my selfish interest. Because I'm part of the people.
So what is possible if 90,000 is not possible? Taking for...
My experience, all you need to do, you see, these things are scientific. But because we don't have a culture of excellence, anybody can say rubbish and get clapped for and get away with it, and we all suffer. What do we do in engineering? Trend analysis. It's very simple, it's scientific. It may not be religious, dogmatic accuracy, but that is what science can give you. What is trend analysis? You plot your production curve and you extrapolate it. That's what we do. We're engineers, that's what we do. And that's what they teach in primary school. But it seems that we go to school just to get a piece of paper. We do not use what we have learned.
So how many barrels is possible?
I don't know. I don't know their plans.
Okay.
I don't know how many more fields they want to develop. But if you use trend analysis, they have been producing for nearly 5 years and they have done 20.
20.
And they told you in the next 2 years they will do 90. Excuse me, sir?
150,000.
No, they didn't say they would do 150.
That was the report we got.
That's the target.
That's what I'm saying. No. They didn't say. Niger did not say. If you look at the government document, they said they expect to ramp up to 90. With their production. And that's another gap in this, what I'll call early project plans, because then they have a steering committee and a technical committee.
All right, I haven't heard your school of thoughts. There is another.
You will call it school of thought. Facts are not schools of thought.
Well, sometimes facts are schools of thought.
Facts are not schools of thought.
And facts are relative.
School,
exactly.
Is 150,000 relative? Give us the alternative.
Well, some other school of thought.
Why do you say school of thought?
Some other school of thoughts.
This is the fundamental problem with Nigeria.
Okay, I can't listen to
you call it trend analysis. So your trend.
After hearing your analysis.
No, it's not my trend. It's you trend it as
After hearing your analysis,
yes.
Right? Some school of thought have it that since we have very little intra-Africa trade going on, that this should be encouraged.
You should encourage intra-African trade, yes, but you don't encourage it doing the wrong thing. You don't encourage good health by giving people poison. I am saying that if this is strictly private, it's not your business. Dangote's refinery, to the best of my knowledge, is private. He has done his feasibility studies, he has done everything, and he's building a refinery. Straightforward. But when I see the two presidents come, and I see fundamental contradictions, and I see you have to go and get this crude from 900 kilometers away.
Even when there's incursion of borders, you're coming into
exactly,
my country.
Exactly.
Shouldn't the president get involved? We are trying to learn because you are also a presidential hopeful. So that's one of the reasons why we're asking this. Should another country come into your country without your knowledge?
That is why the two are involved. And now I'm saying that the project aspects, the basic, the first stage evaluation, there are problems. If you want to do higher stages of evaluation, like I said earlier, you will do the appropriate professional studies. But from the information we have, I'm raising the issues. What are these issues? Capital cost is going to be higher because of the pipeline cost, the distance where you're coming from. The longer the pipeline, the more expensive. Okay? That's one. Two, what are the alternative concepts? Because what they have given us is one concept. Did they do a concept study? Which other concepts did they evaluate? You want to put $2 billion to get a refinery in Katsina that has these issues that I have highlighted. But you have an existing one in Kaduna that is not doing 100%. You also ask yourself, and that's what you do in concept engineering, why is this refinery not sited in the Northeast? The immediate thing that comes to my mind is that Buhari is from Katsina, because the Northeast is nearer to the Agbadem oil field. Secondly, your raw material, the crude for the refinery, is coming from a different country when we are exporting the same crude. Your father is the biggest yam farmer in Ikare.
And they are selling Badendia to you.
No, your father is the biggest yam farmer in Ikare, and you go to the market to go and buy yam. And there are yams in your father's barn. I don't know how you people think, oh. I've been all over the world working. Nobody thinks like this. And anybody who thinks like this cannot develop.
Let me give you a quick summary of the general benefits both government says we're going to derive from this.
Thank you.
They said improved economic activities and bilateral relations between Nigeria and Niger Republic, generation of more employment for the citizens, petroleum products availability in Nigeria and Niger, unstructured legal framework, less carnage on our roads and deterioration to the road infrastructure, foster the development of small and medium-scale industries through backward and forward linkages, socio-economic development of the rural areas through provision of social amenities by the refinery development, and fostering of downstream value chain business opportunities, and some more. Now, do you think, from all you've said, with these benefits, which one outweighs the other?
Two things I'll tell you. First is that as an individual, I will not believe a man who has lied to me consistently. And the Russians say, trust but verify. That's one. Two is that you were made similar promises 2014, 2015. You have not seen them. You have jumped to the next cycle of promises. Do you think you're acting right? You were promised 3 million jobs per year. You have been losing 3 million jobs per year. You are promised 3 million additional jobs per year. You have been losing 3 million. The same people are making another promise, and you are getting excited. I will not get excited like you. It's your freedom to get excited.
They're just questions. It's not about excitement.
It's not a personal. It's not a personal discussion. This is for Nigerians.
These are just questions, and I think your position is very clear.
Don't take it personal. I'm using you to represent the Nigerian that believes this story.
Noted.
To me, this is cock and bull.
Okay.
Because I've been told lies repeatedly 1,000 times.
Okay, thank you, Engineer
why will I believe
Martin Onovo. I'm sure your positions are well canvassed.
I've just shown you the fundamentals and the contradictions. You don't go and put, well, and that's why I say if it's private, we will not bother. If you build a refinery, people are going to get employed.
Beautiful.
But if the project fails, people are not going to get employed.
You just
and
want
money
for
would
the
have been
roads.
wasted.
And money would have been wasted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Before you go,
thank you very much.
In 2015, during the Goodluck Jonathan's era, you professed some solutions to the end of fuel scarcity.
Sure.
We know we experienced this fuel scarcity during the end of the year. You know, what is it? Don't you think that this is the way to go? If we start this project in the next maybe 3 years, we'll stop experiencing fuel scarcity?
The first thing is that you're counting your chickens before they are hatched.
It's good to be hopeful, don't you think so?
No, it is better to be realistic. Because otherwise, you have been hopeful. Housing for all by the year 2000. This is 2018. Why do you wish and long to be deceived? When, if I talk now, I'm going to another topic. When we promised...
you have a few seconds because of time now.
3,000 additional megawatts in 2015. The current government promised 40,000. And I came here and said, this thing is a stupid promise. It is not feasible. You don't have the funding. You don't have the property management capacity. People say, now, grammar, Onovo, they speak. He like too much grammar. What is wrong with him? We need this power. Where is it now?
So we need to be realistic.
You need to be realistic.
Okay, I'm sure that we
You have
will
not built any
definitely...
Onitsha road. You are 2 years now. You have been on the road. You have not built it. You are building the refinery.
We will definitely have you again. Thank you very much, Engineer Martin Onovo. Very, very quite interesting view that you've expressed, and we quite appreciate your time. Trust me, you have not dealt with that question. We'll come back to it on how to end the fuel scarcity that we've been having. It's been a wonderful time. We trust that you'll be here some other time.